Hi everyone, my name's Lydia. I'm the sales and enrollment specialist here at Wilderness Adventures. I'm here to take you through a short webinar about what's new in 2026, a couple of our new trips, a couple of our updated itineraries, with the goal of just helping you and your child take the leap with confidence. So first off, we're just going to go over our new trips. So first off, we have the Dolomites. The Dolomites is 14 days for our high trails age group, so grades 9 through 12. This trip arrives and departs in Venice, Italy. Next, we have the Gates of the Arctic. So the Gates of the Arctic is 14 days in Alaska for, again, our high trails age group, grades 9 through 12. This trip arrives and departs in Fairbanks. And then we have our revived itinerary of the Puget Sound trip. So it is a 6th through 8th grade trip for our Pathfinder age group, 21 days, so 3 weeks long, a little longer for this age group. And it arrives and departs in Seattle, Washington. So first off, let's do a little deep dive into the Dolomites. So Dolomites is 14 days in June, again for that high trails age group, so 9 through 12. This trip begins and ends in Venice, Italy. Some of the activities that they get to do, they get to participate in the Via Ferrata, which is kind of that quintessential Italian mountain activity. It's up in the top right-hand corner here. It is the kind of mix of climbing, hiking, you're kind of scaling these rock sides, but you're fully harnessed in, fully attached to ropes at all times. And guides will take you through the whole trek. It's a very unique experience, very Italian, very mountain, very fun. They also participate in a 6-day trek of the Alta Via Circuit of the Dolomites. So it's a historical trek. They will stay in refugios each night, so the mountain refuges, like their little mountain huts. And these are nice because it's not fully backcountry, but they are limited resources. You still can buy snacks. You can have espressos each morning, very European, delicious, but it's not the full backcountry tenting experience. After their trek, they are going to go stand-up paddleboarding and rock climbing before returning to Venice for their final banquet, before flying home. So this trip also has the option for an escorted flight. So an escorted flight means that one of their trip leaders will be on the flight with them. The other trip leader will already be in Italy for those that choose not to opt into the escorted flight. It's not required by any means, but we can absolutely send you like the flight details and you can get your child set up with that as well. Next, we have Gates of the Arctic. This is a fully backcountry experience. It is 14 days in June for the 9th, 12th grade age group. This trip begins and ends in Fairbanks, Alaska. So you are way the heck up there. Beautiful, beautiful country though. Gates of the Arctic is the least visited national park in the United States. So it is a very unique experience to get to visit this national park, much less spend 9 days backpacking through this national park. So yes, this pretty much all this trip is a 9-day backpacking trip. Gates of the Arctic is very, very big, very, very vast, very, very empty. So there are lots of wildlife viewing opportunities. Like packs of caribou, packs of elk, a couple bears here and there. Beautiful, beautiful country. Um, Once the trip is done, their backpacking section, they get to come out and they do a whitewater raft of the Chena River before heading back to Fairbanks for their final banquet and flying home. This trip is full for 2026. We do have a couple similar trips, but if you reach out, we can absolutely put you on the list to be first to know about this trip for next year. So far, it's been a great success. Next, we have our Puget Sound trip. So this is actually a revived itinerary. We used to run this trip and then just brought it back. Um, it is 3 weeks, so 21 days in June for the 6th to 8th graders, so that Pathfinder age group. This trip begins and ends in Seattle, Washington, so a very convenient airport for people to get to. It is 4 days of backpacking on the Olympic Peninsula, which is that top right corner here. You can see that lush rainforest. Much of this area is a tropical or temperate rainforest, not tropical, temperate rainforest. But it's a beautiful area, very, very different to most other places in the US. But they get to go 4 days backpacking there. Then they also get to go surfing in that same area. Then they will take a ferry across to the San Juan Islands, where they will do 6 days of sea kayaking. So we'll have a subcontractor take them out for a 6-day kayaking trip through this area. It is absolutely beautiful that time of year. There are huge whale watching opportunities. This is a very, very popular whale watching area in this time of year. And there's a very high likelihood that they will see some beautiful wildlife. Um, Once they're done their sea kayak, they will come back to the mainland, go on a day hike in North Cascades, and then they'll finish the trip with a whitewater raft on the Skagit River before heading back to Seattle and heading home. Very unique trip for this age group. It's one of our longest trips for this age group, but it's very cool, very water-based, with that small backpacking section as well. It's great. Next, we have a couple classic trips with some fresh itineraries. So we have the Rockies. This is kind of our tour of Colorado trip, as well as the White Mountains. This is for our Explorer age group for seventh and eighth grade, for the seventh and eighth grade age groups. So we do make adjustments to many itineraries throughout the year based on feedback from parents and students and trip leaders. And so we just change these ones up a little bit, make them more engaging, a little more exciting, a little more fun. So the Rockies is a 14 days for our sixth to eighth graders, so that Pathfinder age group. This trip begins and ends in Denver, Colorado. So again, a very accessible airport, very easy to get in and out of. Um, this trip has a 3-day beginner backpacking section in Rocky Mountain National Park. I say beginner because they don't move in between day 2 and day 3. So they will hike in, set up camp, do a day hike on their middle day, and then they will hike out on day 3. So they won't be moving camp at all. It's a great introduction to that backcountry experience, that backcountry travel. Um, After their backcountry, they get to go explore some of the quintessential Colorado mountain towns. So they get to go up to Leadville, which is the highest elevation of an incorporated city in all of the United States. They get to go to Winter Park, which is another iconic quintessential mountain town. They do a day hike, summit attempt of one of Colorado's 14ers. So a 14er is one of the mountains in Colorado that's above 14,000 feet. Um, they then get to go whitewater rafting in Browns Canyon. They get to sandboard the Great Sand Dunes, which is up in the top right corner here. It's so much fun, beautiful. It's like snowboarding, but easier. And then they also get to go explore the Garden of the Gods and Cave of the Winds, which is kind of near Colorado Springs, Denver area. So it's a very nice tour of Colorado. They get to see a lot of different ecotypes. They get to see that like subalpine, the sand dunes, the red rocks. They get to see it all. It's lovely. Next, we have our White Mountains. So White Mountains is 14 days long for the seventh and eighth graders, so that explorer age group. This trip begins and ends in Boston, Massachusetts. So it's our only East Coast trip. But again, Boston is a very easy airport to get in and out of, which makes it very convenient. This trip has 3 different sections of activities. So you go on a 3-day backpacking in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. They then go 3 days of rock climbing in that same area, which is up in that top right corner. It's incredible rock climbing in this area. And then they venture up to Maine and they go 3 days of sea kayaking in Casco Bay. It's a beautiful sea kayaking area. They'll sleep on islands each night. It's a very fun trip, very cool, very East Coast, very different. Our team is here. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Lots of our trips are filling up. Enrollment isn't definitely in full swing. Earlier you register, easier it is to get your top choice trip. I would love to help you find the right trip for your child. I would love to get you excited, and answer any and all questions for you. Feel free to reach out, and I look forward to hopefully chatting with you. Thank you.